Hey there, and welcome to my 6th devlog on developing an indie game. I know it's been a little while since my last upload, but I've still been working on the project and I'm currently in the process of pre-recording a series of short videos on my progress and uploading them weekly. The first one of these is going to focus on addressing a few new bugs that I mentioned in my previous video. At the end of my last video I was looking at my loadout items. Since then I've managed to get assets in for each of these. I've also got my plant food working and can now individually update a tree's growth stage on click. I've made sure that you can't move the player while you're doing this, so you can't grow multiple trees at once. The idea in the future is that the plant food is the only loadout item which has limited uses. I'll add a counter at the bottom of the plant food icon to show how many uses are left. The main way to replenish your plant food will be through accessing the shops, although I'll go further into this in another video. Moving on to the trees themselves, each of the trees has gone through a makeover in terms of structure to make them more realistic. I genuinely had no idea how difficult it was going to be creating the realistic trees, and even with the help of the creator tool I struggled. What was even more challenging was getting them all to look unique enough for the player to be able to tell the difference between them. I'm happy enough though with these changes currently, although I might make some tweaks in the future. The changes range from minor branch adjustments to completely changing the structure from the ground up, which was the case for this berry tree. A bug or issue I mentioned in my last video was to do with the tree inner and how it was visible when using the axe to chop it down. Even though it's partially blocked by the tree stump and only temporarily visible before it's destroyed itself, I didn't like how immersion breaking it was, so I've attempted to cover it up through using a separate mesh of my own making. After a growth stage of 2, as that's the stage that the tree can actually be chopped down rather than just destroyed, once the growth stage is finished, the tree will have a child object created which holds the logic for constructing a flat plane mesh. To find out where to actually create the mesh, this object takes in a number of points which make up the bottom vertices of the tree mesh. Each of these multicoloured spheres represents one of these vertices. Since each tree trunk is going to be different, and more importantly an irregular shape, I need a reliable way of actually creating the mesh. I ended up using something called ear clipping triangulation. The main idea is that middle points that stick out the most in a polygon area are removed and the polygon is restructured as if that no longer exists. This part here represents the ear that's being clipped. The UVs, to determine how the tree inner texture is displayed on the mesh, are calculating for getting the vectors from the triangle which is cut off. The final modification I've done to the tree is adding a death state for if the tree is overwatered to the point at which it dies. I was really struggling to do this as I was trying to modify the material using something called a material property block. Material Property Block, or MBPs, are a more efficient way of dealing with materials, as you get the properties of the block rather than needing access to the full material itself. Possibly because the material I was working with was created using custom-made shader built using an external software called Amplify. I was unable to get the property data I was after. Instead, I found the individual names of the custom properties I wanted to modify and used the function material.setColor while referencing the name of each. This is each for both bark and leaf shaders. It means the calculation is a bit more expensive, but it does work, giving the trees a dark and murky blue overlay when they've been overwatered, in addition to them no longer being selectable as before. That covers everything I wanted to go through in this video. Like I said at the beginning, I'm going to try and upload these videos weekly, so look out for them. Thanks for watching.